Okay, listen, so I know it's been a little bit since we've talked about this, but a lot of new Illuminaughtii information has potentially come forward. I say potential because it appears like several YouTubers are platforming this information, but the users sharing their story in this case wanted to remain anonymous. So take this as you will, because the only proof really backing it is that this is coming from trustworthy sources and that this user says that they were an employee. So again, not particularly passing it off as fact, but you guys can make your own judgments about what you believe and what you don't. If you guys aren't caught up, I'll link my full playlist here where I cover the entirety of the Illuminaughtii drama as well as my personal drama with her. You guys can go check that out after you finish this video here. Anyways, I'm sorry if I butcher this name, but YouTuber Evangelina Ska recently put out a video where she interviews a former employee of Blair's who wants to speak out about their experience and Blair's behavior as their former boss. She starts off the video by showing the one favorable thing that this person had to say about having Blair as a boss is that there wasn't any abnormal payment timing. It was all pretty standard. That's where the good stuff ends. The employee goes on to say, working for her seemed relatively normal for a while, though this would change over time. She didn't have a lot of communication with the team, from weekly meetings we attended that she wasn't involved in, to discussions about each video that she rarely, if ever, posted in. I've talked with her not longer than I've talked with you already. This was a point in time where they haven't talked much back and forth. One memory that stuck out to me was a terrible comment made by a team member during a call that did include Blair. Blair didn't make this comment, but months later, she made the Illuminaughtii exposed video. I found it hypocritical for her to claim comments Wonderstruck made were grounds for termination, yet let this comment slide. So for those who don't remember this comment, not gonna lie, I didn't either because it's been a little bit. Wonder says that he doesn't recall posting a comment on a forum like Blair claims, so he reached out to Oz and the comment was along the lines of, if I could be an animal for a day, I would be a furry and my favorite food would be ass. Anyways, now that we have context for that comment, here's the comment that ex-employee, is talking about. The call was initiated as sort of a morale boost type thing. We thought it was a meeting going into it, but we played Jackbox. There's a game where you write a caption for images. There was an image of a monkey and the caption written for it was entering Detroit. For context, the employee elaborates saying, a city with a majority black population, the intended punchline was just racism. Moving on, we get a perspective that is very valuable insight into what's been going on behind the scenes since the drama has broken. Things escalated, as may be predictable, when Illuminaughtii's Legal tweet was made. Before this point, working for the channel was often standard. So the Legal tweets were made, and it's a complete surprise to most of us all. A weekly call comes around, and everyone's discussing the tweets that came out. The situation's downplayed by most. People were saying the Legal stuff was handled the wrong way, but not that they didn't copy us, which they obviously did not. Some people were also defending Blair. Another call happens a bit later, and this time Blair was in the call with us. She rants against the Sad Milk members, including Oz. I knew she was awful in doing what she was accused of by these Sad Milk members, but this call was absurd to me as it consisted of piling onto antagonizing those who posted against her. The tone was nothing like that of the Illuminaughtii exposed video that was made. There was hardly any accountability, but rather listing issues with some of the people making accusations against her. I'm not endorsing anyone by any means, but it was off-putting that not only did these accusations come off against her, but most of this call was spent defending her or antagonizing others. It sounds like she's got her little goon platoon there, which, okay, granted, they're paid to do that, you know? Like, they didn't have many other options, so I don't know. Yet again, we get examples of her using people around her that she shouldn't to vent to. See, she said she had heard from a source that Click underpaid an editor. She mocked Oz for various things such as a PC they built for her blue screening, and I believe she brought up the contract they signed that had them owe an absurd amount of money. She boasted this point and seemed happy about it. Wish I remembered more, but she was absolutely going over some people she could threaten legal action with and describing ways she could do so. She said Click underpaid his editor. She broke up with Oz before Oz claimed. It was a lot of deflecting and shifting onto others. Much of it I don't remember, but some bits like that I do. There were also some mentions of Click saying some words that he probably shouldn't, which that's already been handled, so I'm not gonna read that out, but I'll show it here. Anyways, I remember her saying she wants us to all be driving BMWs, and sort of a rallying speech that the channel was gonna get through most of this. Most of us were laid off when the channel plummeted. From my recollection, there were 2 writers and 6 editors or so, some of which were contractors. They get back to talking about Oz Media, saying there was also someone handling the financial stuff, and Oz was a manager, I believe. Also, for more context, I remember Oz being up there until Legal Eagle tweets happened. I don't remember there being much tension between them. It was all pretty abrupt as far as Oz leaving. I'm gonna paraphrase here, but they go on to talk about how Blair just wasn't present as a boss. There was an instance where she asked why an intro was changed despite it being changed for a decent amount of time at this point. Overall, kind of enforcing the idea that going around that she was really just the voice of the channel. Anyways, ending off with, rather than having concern for the well-being of people who released videos about their experience with her, she was celebrating that legal action could be taken against them. She did not seem regretful of her actions at all. Any point that was brought up in a video that she felt that she could take action against was highlighted. She tried to justify legal action being taken against them by implying they deserved it and implied she was sticking up for the team. If this is all proven to be true, this is really pretty damning as far as her reputation, because not only do we have this massive list of things already against her, but now some key factors like an inappropriate workplace environment and like the idea that she's barely being a part of the channel are now further enforced. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think because there is a lot to unpack here. Be sure to have your notifications on in case any other update comes out, which I'm sure there will be. Anyways, I'm out. Thank you to channel members Lucian, Enemy Girl 19, Phoenix Ace, and AUE.